Okay, people, so it's been about 3 months or so, 3 chapters of Attack on Titan since I talked about the series. I want to say I missed out on 125, 126, and 127 of the series. And when we last left off, I want to say we was at the point where Annie had just been decrystallized from, her state that she's been in, according to in-universe of Attack on Titan, for the last 4 years due to Eren going nuts and, having the walls fall down and everything. So we were left on a big cliffhanger, and yeah, it's time to talk some Attack on Titan, Annie's return, more of what the state of the world is at this particular point, considering Eren has activated the Rumble, Hange, Levi, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So without further ado, baby, let's talk some Attack on Titan.
I say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be though.
So yeah, Annie's big return. To be honest with you, when it first came, when initially we was greeted with the idea that holy cow, because everything that transpired with what Eren did with the Rumble and all of that jazz of him getting the founding Titan Ymir's powers and all that stuff, when the idea first came forward, I was like, oh shit, it's been so long, this is going to be huge. And while it was definitely like a huge cliffhanger, it was really, really exciting. To be honest with you, I gotta say, regarding the way Annie's return has been handled in the series, it's definitely not as grand as I thought it would have been. And I think that's due to the fact that her return comes on the heels of like, hey, the world is ending. Because if you think about it, look at like, if she returned, let's just say, before the time skip, for example, or even just barely into the time skip, shortly into it, something along the lines of that, there would have been more impact because, okay, another, Titan shifter is here, depending on where she decides to put her allegiance to, like, that could be a big game changer. But due to the fact that even though, despite, like, she's the female Titan, incredible abilities, very dangerous and all that, we have all of these walls of Titans that just came down. So now with Annie's return, it doesn't feel as though like she's a big game changer as opposed to like if she would have came back again, 20, 30 chapters ago. Because if that was the case, then things would have been different. Annie would have been a game changer. Annie would have been able to have some type of major role in where the series was going to go and what would have happened with the whole war with the Eldians and Marley and, the Jaegerist and all of that stuff. She could have had a big key point or a big key part in all of it, but because she's come on the husk of Eren saying screw it all, I'm gonna kill them all, it's kind of like, well, okay, Annie's back. And she had a couple of moments like when she first got out and she tried to grab Hitch, but then because she was so weakened, Hitch was able to flip her over onto the ground, and then they had a conversation here and there talking about like what the last 4 years of Annie being able to hear what Hitch has been telling her and all of that stuff, and just kind of catching Annie up to speed with everything. But to be honest with you, Annie's return hasn't been, it happened, you know what I'm saying? But because of, again, the time point that she's returned to the story, it doesn't seem like it's grand. Now, when Eren finds out, which I'm imagining he already knows, but when he confronts Annie at some given point and certain aspects happen, like when they actually go to battle and all that stuff, things might be different. Because at one given point, Eren did have some type of relationship with Annie. Also, we know that Annie, we get a little backstory regarding her father and how at the end of the day she really wants to return because her father, despite him training her, and he's not really her father, well, he's not her birth father, but he did raise her. So, her father, like I said, she actually finally, gave us her motivation of why she was trying so hard to do everything and return home, because she had a father that was loving and waiting for her. So we got a little bit more into Annie's backstory, which was dope, but still, I can't get over the fact that it's like, oh, you came so late in the story and there's so much grander things going on and so much has happened that it's like, cool beans. I guess, you'll play a good role in what's happening in the battle against Eren and trying to save Marley. We get the revelation, of course, that Hange and Levi are still alive. Especially, it's more shocking to me. Like, Hange, I was like, okay, but I guess a part of me was just in general, like, it was off screen. We didn't really see completely them die, so maybe they might be alive, but I was more so leaning like Levi was really messed up in his last battle. I think, what was the last time we seen him? When he went up against the Beast Titan? Like, it was a while since we seen the Zeke fight and shit, or when Zeke tried to pull that traitorous move and Levi went nuts and tried to, blow him up and all that shit. So Levi's still around, which again, I think that's leading towards the end, because I'm going to continue to say that I know for a fact that Isayama has constantly, time and time again, said that one of the big things, or not that he said it, but Levi has said it, and I think it's because it's been foreshadowed, and Isayama's going to stick to it, that Levi is going to be the one to kill Zeke. Remember, even though they were in that world, Eren and Zeke talking to the founding Titan and all of that jazz, I don't think Zeke is dead. I think Zeke is still alive. So Levi at some given point, whether it's after he heals up, or I don't know how much time it's going to be available to him to be able to heal up and shit, but I'm still going to put all my chips on at some given point. The one to kill Zeke will be Levi. And now I put all my chips on the table as well, that unless everybody dies, Levi's not dying. Hanji, she might die, but I'm almost certain that Levi's not going to die, because his death was teased majorly and he survived it yet again. Even though he's all messed up, I don't think Levi's going to die, but I do highly anticipate not only a final confrontation between Levi and Zeke, I fully expect Levi to kill Zeke and say, "Told ya I'd do it. Erwin, I did it." And Hanji continues to play a centerpiece of like, okay, so, you know, we got this whole thing of what Eren's doing. She obviously doesn't agree with it. But to be honest with you, they're stuck in a really bad situation, because you don't help Eren. Not only, of course, you're risking that, hey, if Eren gets his way, which it's looking very likely because he has all this power at his disposal at this point, if Eren gets his way, he could execute you. He could say, screw you, you were a traitor, kill you, whatever the case may be. So there's on one hand, but then going against him, you're helping the Marley that once this is all said and done, they're going to look at you like you're a Paradise Island devil. We're gonna kill you, or we're gonna treat you like shit anyway. So Hanji's position, despite the fact that she's gearing up, and you know, at the end of the latest chapter 127 as of the recording of this video, she's gearing up all of these people for this battle and this war against the Jaegerist and, you know, Eren and trying to stop him, but for what? In a sense, just because it's like, okay, I get it, you don't agree with mass murder and slaughter, that he's basically sacrificing the rest of the world to protect the Eldians and protect Paradise Island, but I mean, if you go against him, you're going to lose no matter what. It's a Pyrrhic victory. You beat Eren, you stop him, whatever the case may be, you yourself are still going to be punished and either executed or treated like garbage. So she's in a bad situation, and it's just kind of like, I don't really know how I feel about them gearing all up, you know, Mikasa, Armin, and we got other stuff to talk about, but I'm just like, what victory is there? Like, on top of the fact that you're going to have to kill, or, you know, some type of real bad confrontation, because Eren doesn't look like nothing that you say is going to change his mind. This has been a 2,000-year plan, seemingly. You're gonna probably have to kill this dude. So not only you gotta kill one of your closest friends, you basically lose either way. It's like, it's shitty. We also had Connie go nuts for a bit, trying to take Falco and basically sacrifice Falco to his mom to bring his mother back. The last chapter, I still remember the last chapter review that I talked about the manga. I was like, Connie, you're nuts. Like, yo, totally, I get it. I 150% understand on a real world aspect. You want somebody back hard enough, you would give anything in the world to have them back. So I understand that. But it's like, fam, you realize, right? You just gotta put everything into perspective for a second, Connie. You bring her back. Let's just say you sacrifice Falco. She becomes, you know, the Jaw Titan. Is that the power that Falco has? She becomes the Jaw Titan. You weaken the forces even further. It's like, it looks like Connie's willing to sell his soul completely. Like, because if he's willing to do that, sacrifice this kid that he's luring him over there, which that panel of him saying we're gonna brush her teeth was so fucking creepy. Like, Connie, you creep, oh my god. But like, he probably is willing to sell out and betray anybody, or was, you know, for his mom at that particular point. Because if he's willing to sacrifice Falco for his mom, that's going to like have an old lady having these powers. Like, what the old lady having these powers is going to make them even less useful. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's a kid, he's still young and vibrant. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a shitty situation, which at the end of the day, you would be extending your mom's life by 13 years, by the way, Connie. Armin, that scene itself, to be honest with you, and I'm not saying that everything is getting rushed, but when Armin basically was like, oh, so if you're going to sacrifice him, screw it, I'll do it. Nah, you can have your mom back thanks to me. And that kind of just radicalized Connie's mind frame and his thoughts on what he was going to do. Felt a little bit quick, considering the fact that this man has been, or this dude has been holding in this idea of bringing back his mom at any cost for a while now. Years, basically. And a small little confrontation where Armin is like, I'll jump in your mama's mouth, makes you say, okay, you know what? Never mind. Forget about it. Falco, I'm sorry I tried to have you brush this bitch's teeth. Like, seemed a little bit quick to convince considering everything behind him. So wasn't the biggest fan of that. I get it. Armin is like, you know, trying to explain to him like it's not worth it, you're gonna lose and all of that jazz, but it just went really quick. It was all resolved within the same chapter within like 10 pages. It's like that's Connie's story resolved with his mama that we've been seeing since like what chapter was that, like 40 something. Like then the fact that Mikasa, Armin, John, Hanji, just about everybody that you could think of is going against Eren, like I was talking about earlier, just feels like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it honestly is crushing. Like any shipper of Mikasa x Eren, throw it out the window. That ship is dead. Like when she hears that Eren basically said, throw the scarf in the garbage and shit like that, I think that was another blow to her. Now, some people I've seen are trying to ship Mikasa with Armin. No, I don't see that happening. I see Mikasa dying before she goes with Armin, or Armin dying, or I just don't see that at all. But I definitely see that ship is probably dead at this particular point. Not to mention that what they said, Eren has 4 more years left to live anyway. So the ship is dead. Ship is done for. I don't see them getting together at all, which it sucks because that's been something that's been teased, but it also builds to something that I love about Attack on Titan, that is not just a cliche thing. It's not, nothing is guaranteed in this bad boy. You don't know who's gonna go out the window tomorrow and that shit. So I rock with that. I understand it. It blows as a person that wanted to see them together. I loved Mikasa's devotion to Eren. Like, shorty would jump off the Empire State Building butt naked and land on a fucking penny just for Eren. So I appreciated that. But dude is turned into a piece of shit, regardless of what. He's willing to kill it and do whatever, you know, by any means. And I get that, by any means necessary. And that's one of my favorite quotes and one of my things that I live by. Kudos to that. But fam, you crushing everything, and that, like, it just feels like pure victories all around. Then we had that campfire where everybody was just kind of putting out their grievances and just, you know, being open. Because at the end of the day, I still don't, even after that, like some of those Marley people that were still calling them devils as they're there, I was still kind of like, I don't know how much that really resolved. I mean, I guess it got out a few frustrations, like when John just jumps up and attacks Reiner right there. I'm like, okay, he beats the living dog shit out of him. Like, nah, I can't forgive you. I was like, that's cool. Gabby jumps up and stops the fight. Like, fam, why is... I feel as though... I don't know if Isayama is trying to make it to a point where we actually start to really like it. I don't know if anybody likes Gabby. Like, do you like Gabby? Anybody like Gabby? I don't know. But I feel as though he's not going to do anything to her until he knows for sure that the audience actually likes her. Which I don't see it happening. I hate her for what she did to Sasha. She's been a nuisance. She's like fucking Pan in Dragon Ball GT for this manga for me. Like, Gabby, go bye-bye. Still don't like Gabby, just saying. And then the latest chapter that ends off with basically like they're about to approach where the Jaegerist people are and war is seemingly about to commence. I just don't know. It all feels like a hopeless situation. I don't even know who to root for, because to be honest with you, what Eren's trying to do is he's trying to protect his people, the people that have been oppressed for so many years by any means necessary. Everybody that he cared about is basically going against him. You got Annie in there, which that's going to be a very interesting thing. Again, hasn't been utilized properly since she returned. Like, all she did was like try to grab Hitch, and that didn't go so well. So but you know, it's like I don't know who to root for. It feels very unpredictable, which is great. Like there's good and some bad, some certain things, like again I said about the Connie, you know, his whole character thing with his mom was rushed or whatever. But I love the fact that I really don't know where the hell any of this is gonna go. Like, a part of me is just gonna say like, Isayama's just gonna kill everybody, like, because I don't know where this shit is gonna go. It's like nobody wins. Like, Eren wins at this particular point because all of his original friends and family and allies all have become enemies at this particular point. So he'd have to kill them all anyway, be lonely. That sucks. I mean, I guess the Eldians could win themselves. Like, you know, our leader, our fearless leader did it for us. But in terms of the characters that we care about and grew with, nobody wins. Nobody wins throughout any of this. Eren dies is still sad. All of them are going to be put in prejudiced situations anyway. It sucks, but it's great because I don't know where this is going to go. Curious what a lot of you guys think about this. For starters, Annie's return. How have you felt about it thus far? Has it felt disappointing? Do you feel as though they could have utilized her more? Is Isayama saving her up for a big scene, maybe a big rematch with Eren at some given point? What do you think about just all of Eren's former friends basically having to go against him at this particular point? How do you feel this is all going to go? There's no right or wrong at this particular point. Like, what do you think about their objective of taking out Eren and Hanji leading the charge? Do you agree with me that Connie switching his mind regarding the situation of, you know, sacrificing Falco because of Armin in that quick exchange, was that too quick? Maybe I'm thinking too much about it. I don't know. Like, how did you feel about that situation? And how do you predict this whole shebang ending up? Like, the last 3 chapters, it's been definitely different, and it just feels very unpredictable. And again, I like that. I don't want to know what's going to happen immediately. Like, this makes it really mysterious and like, who the hell knows? Shit is crazy. The Rumble has been activated. The world is at war. And Eren is the #1 bad guy. This Sosuke Aizen motherfucker, Eren Yeager. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or hit that bell, or definitely hit that bell to get all notifications of my videos. And if you want to follow any of my other social media links, of course, in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day, and remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in.
Everything good always comes to an end. If you stab me in my back, we can never make amends. Trying to move to acceptance, hard to accept it. Mistakes like mirrors, gotta reflect it. I don't wanna fucking leave, but I gotta leave the maybes to the crazies. Maybe one day there I go, admitting something in a subtle way. No more copies, leave without a trace. Last time, I'ma say last time. Moving on to the future, leave the memories as a pastime. Memories always feel like the worst, deading all the past, leave it in a hearse. Sometimes I wanna lie, but I don't. Why lie when truthfully you get caught in it? Then usually it's all off and shit, uncalled for shit. Now I'm off the shit. Maybe lately what I've been facing got me crazy. No, I can't take it. Maybe